my mind started playing tricks on me. Every time I looked in the mirror, I was so defeated. And what happened for me is how I climbed back up, how I picked myself back up is what you said. I had to actually start all over and learn how to eat food and love myself in my own skin. How did I do that? Well, I tried a lot of different things. I tried to go back on show prep. That didn't work. I tried to starve myself. That didn't work. I went and fasted. I wouldn't eat for 16 hours in a day. Everything was backfiring on me. I was I was just in a very bad mental place almost for 2 years. Like Katie, it was bad. I was exhausted. So my body was exhausted physically. My mind was exhausted mentally. It was bad all around. And that's what I had to do. I had to reverse everything that I was doing and start fresh and say, okay, here I am at the very bottom of this mountain. I'm going to take a step every single day to get myself back healthy and normal again.
What's up, you beautiful beasts? I'm Katie. I'm on a mission to help humans become their favorite versions of themselves and to strive for overall health by healing their relationship to food and exercise, healing their relationship to their body, and most importantly, healing their relationship to themselves, all without ever having to step on a scale. I have had the privilege to talk to all kinds of different humans who have been through a plethora of experiences just being a human and existing. I believe that every single time someone shares their story, at least one person listening will learn from it, be inspired by it, and maybe, just maybe, even change the entire direction of their life. These are the stories of humans unveiling their beautiful beast. Keep listening. This is the Unveiling the Beast podcast. So welcome to the Unveiling the Beast podcast. Can you tell myself and the listeners a little bit about who you are and why you think you are who you are?
Well, okay, so I'm Kelley Tyan. I'm from Boston area, and I'm definitely a beast. I decided long ago, maybe it's because I'm an only child. I decided long ago that no one's really coming for me to hand me things. And if I want to make things happen, I have to make them happen. So I think I was born an entrepreneur from birth. I always had just that carefree, I'll try it, let's see if it works. If it doesn't, it's okay. I had that kind of attitude growing up. I think it all stems from my upbringing. My mom was just a cheerleader of me, and it was a very beautiful relationship I had with her, probably because I was the only one around. But we had a really great, close, tight-knit relationship. My dad too, of course, but my mom cheered for me always and just taught me to be comfortable in myself, cheer for myself, and that makes me who I am. If that answers the
Awesome.
question. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. And so what are you bringing to the world these days? What do you do that like how do you make a like what do you do for work, which is like my least favorite question because it's not that interesting. But B, like you seem like, because I just met you, you seem like somebody who helps other people. Is that
I,
correct?
that is
Yeah.
100%. I've been helping other people, women primarily, my whole life since I was 23 years old. So I've been in the entrepreneurial space since about 23, which is, don't do the math. I'm just going to say it's been a long time. It's been a long time. No ages here. But I started in network marketing with Mary Kay Cosmetics. I loved being around the rah, again, cheerleader kind of women that are like, let's go, let's break the glass ceiling, let's shoot for the diamonds and winning all the prize, all that. And of course, it was makeup related, so I loved that. So I
Mhm.
started in that space, and then I majored in education. So I thought I was going to be a teacher, but the network marketing opened my eyes to a whole other world of working with women and, paving my own way. So I loved that piece. I loved helping women learn in a team setting. I started coaching them in business back then. So that's really my foundation of who I am today. Fast forward, I had a fitness business for 11 years, just coaching women in mind, body, and soul, really. It was mostly physical, but I was coaching them in mindset the whole time when I look back on it. And then after COVID, I'm just taking you on a kind of a fast track. After COVID, I knew that was the end of my fitness business. I knew God was calling me. I'm very faithful. I am a Christian and I love the Lord. I respect all people. So that's just me. That's what I was brought up in God and church and things like that and Christianity. So I ended up finding my own faith as an adult because, we're all on our own path. And I realized after the fitness business was pretty much over that women need more than just learning how to get in shape or learning how to just sell things or business or trying to be an entrepreneur. I realized my faith really got me where I am. And so I had to figure out how can I stay in the coaching space of women, tie in my pillars that I excel, feel like I'm an expert in, which is, leadership, fitness, health, relationships. We can talk about that in a minute because I do have the best marriage out there, but it took a long time. Took a long time, but we can chat about that. And I put together really for what I do today is I coach women in that space of helping them lead themselves well. It all starts within. How do I empower myself to lead myself well? And then I tie my faith in because I believe prayer is my strategy for business. It's my strategy for my marriage, my relationships with my children, my work life, and everything I do. I've learned to pray my way through my obstacles, through the things that challenge me. I'm a cancer survivor.
Mm.
You name it, I've been through it. I've been through deep, dark depression in my life. Yes, even being a follower of the Lord, I still battled almost wanting to take my life. And all that came from me making choices to choose faith over fear. And so that's to sum up Katie, that's what I do for women. I help them really find their inner strength so they can do the things God's calling them to do, no matter what it is, whether it's being a great leader in their home for their children, or a better communicator in their marriages, or just wanting to get healthier in their bodies. So that's me in a nutshell.
I love it. The first thing I want to say, it's a really horrible transition because I love everything that you just said, but everything on my face right now is Mary Kay.
Oh my
That's
God,
how I started too.
no way. That's
Yeah.
so amazing.
Yeah. I
Wow.
so I signed up with Mary Kay when I was 18, and it was my first what's the word I'm looking for? Like introduction to personal development and
Yes, same.
self-help.
Yes.
So like, I still use the products because they're like amazing products, but that's kind of where I got my itch to just shoot to be the my favorite version of myself, so to
Yes.
speak.
Oh,
And
I have
yeah,
goosebumps. That's amazing. I truly
yeah.
know, and I believe it. We're so aligned in that. I didn't
Mhm.
know that world exists. I didn't know that women could cheer each other on and that you can learn so much in that kind of business. Because I'm coming from,
Yeah.
teaching early childhood education. That's what I thought I was going to
Mhm.
be doing the rest of my life. So, and by the way, you look beautiful. So I love it.
Thank you.
Great
Thank you.
makeup. Great makeup. I do love it. That's awesome.
The other thing I wanted to just kind of put into onto a plate is I love that you took all the different things that you've done and you saw I don't want to say pattern, but like a similarity, like all these different people that you've helped have something in common, and that is the beautiful beast within. Like
Right.
we all have our own beasts, and that's like the whole point. And I love that you mentioned fitness and health and relationships because all of that to me is health, right?
Yes.
And and when we can, not saying everything's always going to be perfect at the same time, but when we can like just strive for like one level higher than we were yesterday,
Exactly.
then it helps not only our mental health but our physical health too, because
Oh, yeah.
everything is stored in our bodies. Did all
Yeah.
that make sense?
Yes. No, health
Okay.
is wealth. Health
Yeah.
is wealth. Healthy relationships, health in our
Hmm.
physical bodies, healthy mindsets. I mean, I'm a work in progress and it's been ongoing for years. I
Hmm.
think we can never give up. That's why it's so important to never give up on you. You have
Hmm.
one life to live. Once you realize that, you can stop stressing about what everyone else is doing. You can stop comparing yourself to what she's doing over here. Like get in your lane, zone in on your gifts and your strengths. They're there. Trust me.
Hmm.
They are there. We all have them inside. I know I've been working with thousands of women for years, and so many women they just don't spend enough time alone. They're too distracted by the outer things that take over. Then they wake up and say, how did I get here? And so I am on a mission to help women not say that. I don't want women saying that. I want them to be just excited about what they bring to the table. Again,
Hmm.
whether it's in their marriage or you don't have to be a CEO. You can just be a really good wife. You can be a really good caretaker, you know. So I want to pull that out of the women I work with. And I find that so many walk through life as zombies, really, like just going through the motions and, oh, I'm not capable. I don't have those skills. Well, you're not supposed to have those skills. You have yours. So let's
Yeah.
focus on those and make them great.
Yeah. And I want to add to that too, is a lot of times we do have the skills, but they're just not good yet because we haven't practiced them. And we have a tendency to want to be good at them right away. And I always say you have to suck first, like whatever it is you're doing.
Right.
I mean, people who do anything professionally sucked at one time. So,
Yes, they
yeah.
did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. That's the thing. And but the sad part about it is that's why many quit
Mm-hmm.
right before they're really gonna have that breakthrough or get good
Yeah.
at it. So, the message today for your listeners is don't quit. Start
Yeah.
and finish. I'm all about integrity and that all. Listen, I'm saying all this today, but I've walked the walk just like you. I told you, I started years ago on working on myself. I was not this woman I am sitting in front of you right now, even 5 years ago. So I just want you to know if you're listening, just to really give yourself grace and patience and just start. That's it. You'll get there. You will get there, even mentally. If you're suffering mentally, you just, I used to think awful about myself at one point. And
Yeah.
I suffered a lot with body image and shaming myself. I went through a whole thing with that because I competed in fitness for a little while. So coming off the stage and being stage ready to the real world, I gained 15 pounds in 8 days because I wasn't on stage anymore. And I
Mm-hmm.
shamed myself every day. I told myself I was huge. And, so I had a distorted vision of what
Yeah.
supposed to look like. So I went through all that and it's like, no, but I worked on it. I said, okay, I'm going to settle into my own skin. What can I do to be healthier? How can I live a regular, normal life like that? That's all I want to do. I'm not ever going to be back on that stage, and I haven't looked back since. But, so it's just give yourself grace and patience and make better decisions. Like you said a little while ago, it's like, how can I be a little bit better today? Maybe you
Hmm.
beat yourself up yesterday. Well, maybe today you don't do that. Work on that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I'm curious if you're open to going a little more into the competing and being on stage because um I help the people I coach, I help them heal their relationship to food, exercise, body, and self so
Yes.
that they can go on this health adventure from a place of love instead of hate. And I'm we see like what we see with people on the stage that are competing like that
Mhm.
is different than how do I say this? Like we kind of come up with our own conclusion of how they got there and automatically our brains are trained to think, "Oh, look, they're so healthy."
Yeah.
And I don't know the percentage, but I know it's a high percentage of people who do go on that stage have or are developing eating disorders or
Yeah.
disordered eating in some form. So I'm curious if you'll go into that a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, I had an eating disorder for sure.
Mm,
Like 100%. So, just to give you the backstory, I owned a fitness business for 11 years. And I'm the kind of girl, my brand was formerly called Addicted to the Climb because I'm all about the climb. How can I go to the next level? What am I doing next? I loved reaching for the next thing to try, like I said earlier, to do. So I'm all about climbing my way back up again, those mountains. So when I started my fitness business, about just a couple years in, I was like, okay, here I am. I'm leading the pack, getting fit.
mhm,
What can I do now? Well, a competition sounded good to me. Never heard of it, didn't even know about them. And I jumped into a camp that I went to for a weekend to learn and find a coach. And I had a couple coaches. They put me on the diet. I did the training. And I do have to tell you the good part about this, though. I am a four-time national bikini champion. I did four shows, won all four. So I know it's crazy.
awesome. That's really cool.
It's really cool because it really hasn't been done before, but I really am so proud to say that. So doing a competition was tough. It was hard work, but I put my all. I said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take it to the stage. It was not just putting on heels and a bikini. It really was, it taught me a lot about myself, discipline, commitment level, my dedication to my workouts. I mean, it was a whole thing. However, when I finally finished my fourth show, I said, okay, I think I'm done. What do I do next? How am I going to sustain this body in literally within a week? I told you I had gained 15 pounds based off of my stage weight. So I
Mhm,
wasn't a big girl, but for me, I could not look in the mirror. I was crying. My husband thought I was losing my mind. I was like, I can't fit into the jeans I was wearing. And he'd be like, you're not on stage. I'm like, but I don't understand why my body is reacting this way. And I'm getting bigger and bigger by the day because I went back to normal eating. I was just eating like a regular person, you know? And my mind started playing tricks on me. Every time I looked in the mirror, I was so defeated. And what happened for me is how I climbed back up, how I picked myself back up is what you said. I had to actually start all over and learn how to eat food and love myself in my own skin. And how did I do that? Well, I tried a lot of different things. I tried to go back on show prep. That didn't work. I tried to starve myself. That didn't work. I went and fasted. I wouldn't eat for 16 hours in a day. Everything was backfiring on me. I was I was just in a very bad mental place almost for 2 years. Like Katie, it was bad. I was
mm.
very sad. I never went back to fitting in those jeans. I actually had to give them away and because but what I want to say to your people and the women out there that maybe struggle with body image or having an appreciation and love of their body and food is God gave us this body. What we can choose the better, cleaner options, but your body might not ever look like hers on Instagram because those aren't your thighs. God didn't give you those thighs. He gave you your thighs. The
Mhm,
only thing we can do is choose healthy foods that fuel us because at the end of the day, I just wanted to feel good. I was tired. I told you I was doing all the wrong things. I was trying to go back on show prep food and starving myself, and I was exhausted. So my body was exhausted physically, my mind was exhausted mentally. It was bad all around. So if you're in a place of exhaustion, how can you fuel yourself? Because food is mood it all day. What you're
Mm,
eating really is who you are. If you're eating good, clean foods, you're going to feel good. You're going to have more confidence. You're going to have more courage to do things. You're going to wear the jeans and that's what I had to do. I had to reverse everything that I was doing and start fresh and say, okay, here I am at the very bottom of this mountain. I'm going to take a step every single day to get myself back healthy and normal again. And it took me a while. I had to brace myself. It took me a couple of years to get real comfortable in my body and who I am.
mm,
And it was a whole process, but it can be done no matter what. You just have to
mm,
decide, and that's it.
Thank you for sharing all that. I am curious, like rewinding all the way back to the beginning, did you have a driving force that said you need to be on stage or you need to get to a certain size or anything like that? Or was it just, oh, hey,
No,
that sounds like a cool idea?
I I always wanted to go to the next level in my fitness and see what my body would do. I did want to see how lean I could get in my body.
Hmm.
Yes, a little vain, of course. I did, of course, a little vain, but
Yeah.
I really just was curious how my body could change through this competition prep phase. And that was the driving force. I just wanted to see how strong
Okay.
I would get and how lean my body could get. So,
Mm.
yeah.
And to piggyback off of that, when you were on the stage in that body, how did you feel about yourself?
I felt really good. I think I secretly knew though that this is not reality.
Hmm.
Like when I remember being on stage and feeling, you have all the makeup on and the tan, and I looked good, but in person, to be very honest, I looked drawn. I didn't look healthy like you would
Hmm.
think. The pictures look great, as you can see, with pictures. I looked great on stage, but when I looked in the mirror at one point, I remember being like, wow, I'm so lean. There's really no meat on my body. And I mean, that part wasn't fun for me.
Hmm.
Like we
Yeah.
all need a little meat on our body. I was really
Yeah.
lean, and so I struggled a little bit with that. I just feeling a little scrawny at one point. But see, it's a whole mess because then I wanted to maintain that, but did I really want to maintain that?
Yeah.
It was a battle.
Yeah. I was just curious because I know a lot of I'm not putting everyone like in the same bucket, just the specific people that I've been working with is they tend to like when they've gotten to that goal weight or that goal body or whatever, they still feel like crap and they still don't like what they see in the mirror. And like my story, I when I was at my thinnest, I still thought I was fat.
Mhm.
And it's like body dysmorphia at its finest. And
Yep.
so I was just curious because I know everybody, not everybody, I shouldn't say everybody, but the people that I've been working with, they're not satisfied at that XYZ weight or, whatever it is that they've been chasing. They're not happy because of how they got there. And for each person, it's a different thing. Like for you, it was I looked too lean, my skin. And for me, it was I still thought I was fat. So it was just a curious, like how we're all different in how we think about ourselves. And oh,
You know what helped me, and I know not everybody listening has faith, my kind of faith, and that's okay.
hmm
But I do have to throw this out there because what really truly helped me was my faith in learning how the God that created me made me this way. That's where that's where my identity is. I did a lot of research in trying to find my identity. And for me, my faith has been the cornerstone, the foundation of everything in my life. I try to see myself the way God sees me instead of through
Mm.
my own human eyes. Like He created each of us beautiful, and I mean that's biblical. I if you're going from a Bible standpoint, He created each of us as a masterpiece and loves us as we are. So why aren't we loving ourselves? Just as long as we're making good choices, who's to say that 135 pounds is the ideal weight for women? Nobody.
Right.
You
Yeah.
you know, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. There's somebody for everyone out there, right? So
Yeah.
we're the ones putting all the pressure on ourselves for what? At the end of the day, why are we actually doing that? Sometimes it's a little deeper, but I just, once I really was like, okay, I'm going to walk in my faith and accept the God that made me beautiful. And that's all I need to know today. And that
Mm.
helps me.
Yeah. I do want to say there is one piece of the chasing after that number, at least for me, and I know a lot of other people, not just women, but people, is the whole BMI scale, which I believe is crap. At my thinnest, I was stage 1 obese, according to BMI. And so according to what I'm supposed to be is between 114 and 135, I think. And my lowest weight was 163, and I was like because I have a lot of muscle. I'm built that way. It's in my DNA, and now I've been doing like heavy lifting and stuff. But at at my I go like this because my thinnest, because I have this specific picture in mind. Um, Stage 1 obese. Like, what does that do to somebody's head who is in a very thin body and thinks they're fat? And now this BMI thing from the doctor's office is
Mhm,
saying, "Oh, you're obese."
mhm. That
So,
that's why I've learned over the years to just hone in on how I feel. What can I do? I stopped.
mhm,
I used to, because I trained so many women in fitness and health. I didn't even let my clients have scales. I really
mhm,
did because
yeah,
honestly, the numbers really can mess with us in so many ways, more than we even know. It's really, I used to have them buy a pair of jeans. Like if your goal weight is whatever, well, what size jeans does that girl wear? So if it's a six, get the pair of six jeans, and that's your goal to get in those jeans. And
mhm,
right, and that's how we used to work. So throwing away the scale, the number, I had to like ignore all there's so many opinions out there. There's so many, like you said, I remember my husband was told he's fat, based off the charts. I mean, who's making
yeah,
these charts, right? I mean, it's a sure way to make people feel really bad about themselves. So if you can block
yeah,
the noise, get off the Instagram if you're scrolling and you're seeing things that just make you feel inferior. There's so many things
yeah,
you can do to fuel yourself and empower yourself. And again, when it comes to food, you know what you shouldn't be eating. Like we all know.
mhm,
And hire the coach. Go to Katie. Get somebody that's going to hold you accountable because we all need accountability. We all need support, right? In our journeys.
mhm,
Even though we know we're not supposed to eat the French fries, but when you have someone holding you accountable, you're more apt to not eat the French fries because you're going to show up. You're paying for your service to help you stay on track.
yeah.
So, yeah.
And I do want to add the piece that sometimes it is okay to eat the French fries.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, but
And the pizza.
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I said and the pizza.
Oh, yeah. Well, my listeners know this. I read the book Intuitive Eating, I don't know, 2019, and the book changed everything about how I live my life. I've read it 3 times now, and that's kind of how I coach. But what I've found, like, as I'm kind of, it's not even, it's just learning to listen to your body. I find that when I eat intuitively, I don't want the crap. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I'll be like, yeah, give me some pizza, like you
Yeah,
said, or French fries. But the way it makes me feel afterwards, which is the intuitive piece, like paying attention to how different foods make you feel, I don't even want it.
right,
Whereas before, like if it's completely off limits, then what does our brain do?
right. Wants it.
Let's go eat that thing that's off limits. Right.
That's
So,
that's the beauty of creating healthy habits for yourself.
hmm
The more you do what you're doing, the more you're going to do that thing. The more you swap it out, the more you start creating a better choice. You do
hmm
that over and over and over again. That becomes your new habit. Habits are very, yes, they say they're hard to break, but in reality, they're breakable. Habits aren't, they can be broken if you want
Yeah.
to break them. Like they really
hmm
can. And it just takes you wanting that path. It's like what's paining you more to be overweight, sluggish, low energy, miserable, or eating the thing? Or, so sometimes you just got to weigh out what's most important. Do I want to stay here? Well, then what am I really going to do to break this
hmm
pattern that I'm in? Because you're never stuck. I told you, no one's handing you anything. You got to do it yourself. That's it.
Boom.
That's it.
Yep. So I kind of want to take like a hard left or right, you pick, and go into the relationships piece. Um, because I believe that healthy relationships also contribute to healthy mind and body. So I'm curious your thoughts on how they contribute to each other, like both romantic and, just the relationships in general that we have in our lives.
Oh my gosh. They're everything, right? I mean, you
hmm
are the five people you spend the most time with. You're the average sum of those people. So for me, over the years, I've had to really be aware of the people I'm spending time with. And it stinks, but sometimes certain people, they're not worthy of your time. If they're sucking you dry and they're sucking the energy out of you and your conversations aren't fueling you, you're not stuck. There, sometimes we have to make choices that are very hard
hmm
and find new relationships because I know that when I was in those circles with different people, my energy was low. My self-belief wasn't there. And sometimes misery loves company, right? We
hmm
know that. So I'm encouraging you to venture out if you're in these relationships because there's really great people out there that will cheer for you and be supportive, empower you in what you're doing. Like let's take food for an example. You ever go somewhere with your people and you're trying to eat good, and they're like, oh, you're on a diet today. You're not going to get the fries. Like, you want people to support you and say, you know what? I'm so proud of you that you're getting a salad. Good for you, right?
Yeah.
Our relationships matter, even in that extent. If they're not supporting you, then it's time to find new people to be around. And then we can take this, in my marriage. I mentioned that briefly before. I feel it's a lot of work cultivating really good relationships. I mean,
Yeah.
we've been married for a long time and it wasn't always this way, but there's really a lot of things that you can do. For an example, I've learned how to say sorry even when I don't want to because I made a commitment to love my husband and I don't want to end up in a divorce. I'll do everything I can not to end up in a divorce. And
hmm
there are things that we can do. Empathy in the relationship. We all have, my mom taught me when I was young, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Sometimes it's like one speaking Japanese, one speaking Russian. It's just the way it is, right? Men and women. And
Yeah.
but that resonated with me because every time I'd get in a fight or try to be right, I'm like, okay, well, maybe he really doesn't understand. So I can be more empathetic and just let it go, you know, instead
Mm,
of holding on. I've done so many things wrong, but yet I've learned so many things to do right over the years that have made my marriage great. Instead of fighting and going to bed mad, it's like, just say sorry. Even if you know you're right, sometimes saying sorry is the icebreaker and can mend everything. So
yeah.
I know I was kind of all over the place, but there's just so many things about relationships that they're everything. And if you can get into really great relationships and be the one to make the relationship great, I think a lot of us are always looking to the other person or
Hmm.
pointing the finger. Well, they're not doing this, or she didn't do this, or she didn't call me today, and I'm always the one doing it. Well, sometimes that's what we have to do, and that's okay,
Yeah.
right? It's it's
Yeah.
it's a give and take, but yeah, I hope that's did that answer your question?
It did. And I love how like it's not directly related to, but it is directly related to how you keep saying like you do it. You've got the power. It's like being this independent being and also having other independent beings who take care of themselves, who cheer you on and you cheer them on. And it's like rather than this, well, what does she think of me? And what do I think of her? And I'm not even sure where I'm trying to go with it, but it's just like this healthy balance of um connection, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's being around like-minded people, I think is
Hmm.
key to our success. You know, if I'm out there wanting to get healthier and I'm hanging around all the people that go to McDonald's every day, that's really going to just delay my progress in every single way. It really is. If
Yeah.
people rub off, we all rub off on each other. So for me, I'm going to say that again, to if I want to be successful in what I'm doing and more faithful in my life, then I got to find those people that are doing that. Maybe the ones that are a few steps ahead of me. I'm all
Hmm.
about being in mentorships and programs and meeting new people that are doing the things I want to do. They're like-minded. They're
Hmm.
going places. Those are the crowds I run with. And if that's you right now, they're out there. Whether you're a gardener, like whatever you're doing in your life, it doesn't matter. Find your people that you're like-minded with, that you can talk with, support each other, empower each other, and you'll have very successful relationships. You really will.
I love it.
Mm.
I have one more question for you, and you might have already answered it in the multiple topics that we've talked about today, but um if and I started asking this differently too. It's the same question, but I'm asking differently.
Okay.
If everybody in the whole world just stopped what they were doing and looked at you and said, "Please give me some advice," what would you say?
Oh, that's
No
a yeah,
pressure or anything.
oh, that's a good one. Oh, well, two things came to mind, but if it was one thing, I would say really learn to love who you are and accept your special uniqueness about yourself. Once you can do that, you'll fly. You will fly. Because once we learn to really look in the mirror, high five ourselves, say, I got this today. I'm going to choose me. I'm going to love myself. I feel like there's so many chains that break off of us when we
Mm,
do that. It all stems with that. It all starts within.
mm, beautiful beast.
Beautiful beast, the beautiful beast within.
Yes. Beautiful beasts, Kelley Tyan signing off. Until next time.